Yo YouTube, what go on? Hope you guys are doing well and staying blessed up. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how you onboard a client. Now, that said, what you're going to want to do is drop a like on this one because this one's going to be fire. Make sure you subscribe as well. That's all I ask in return. It really does help me out with the algorithms and stuff like that. And turn on the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a fire upload regarding SMMA and stuff like that. That said, guys, let's jump straight into the video. So, onboarding process. Let's talk about this real quick because I know that a lot of people are kind of stuck on this. I was particularly stuck on this as well. I took a whole bunch of courses when I first got started with, SMMA, and it kind of explained how to take payments and stuff like that. But then I was always kind of stuck as to like, how do you actually onboard the actual client? What do you need from them? What do you have to get from them? What do you actually have to ask for? Do you need their passwords? Do you need to set up their accounts? Are you, paying for the Facebook ads and stuff? There was way too many questions for me. There was too many holes in the actual process. So I'm going to kind of just outline all of this for you and show you a step-by-step, process of what I particularly do. So first and foremost, what I do is I built what you call a onboarding funnel. Now, previously to this, I didn't have, this was ages ago when I very first got started with SMA. I didn't have an onboarding process. I then closed my first ever client, which was like a hair salon client in Manchester. It was £250 for the first month, and this was I didn't really count this client. I don't think I've ever actually mentioned this on YouTube just because it was such a low ticket, shitty kind of client, if I'm being honest with you guys. But I remember it very vividly. I actually Instagram DM'd them. Anyway, I didn't even actually have a call. In fact, yeah, we did have a call with them. The call was horrible. I was using my mobile phone back then to actually call business owners. That's how you know that this is ages ago. I didn't even use Zoom. Long story short, guys, my onboarding process looked like this. I literally asked him for his ad account ID. I literally typed into YouTube how to get access to somebody's business manager. I literally had to individually ask for his pixel, his ad account, his Facebook page, put me on as an actual admin and stuff like that. It was way too many steps to go back and forth. We actually had to end up then jumping on a call, and I kind of had to do it on my screen because I didn't really know what Zoom was back then, so I couldn't really screen share with him and do this. Then it transitioned into, I'm never doing that shit again. So I created a YouTube video, just a one long YouTube video, which was I think it was 25, 30-ish minutes. And it had screens over the top, and it would be when I say a screen, the screen would go, imagine the screen went black right now and it just said step one, just text in the middle, step one, do this thing. And then I'd be on camera explaining stuff and sharing my screen and stuff like that, going back and forth from the camera to my screen. And I'd be now that's complete, let's complete step two. Then the screen again would go black. Obviously I had a nice gradient looking thing and my little logo in the corner, and it would be step two, time to get integrated with the business manager. Then it would be another kind of explainer section, but it was all in one long video. Right now I have the same concept but in a more refined system. It's built on WordPress, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to kind of break this down as to how I did this and how you can actually do this for relatively cheap. When I say relatively cheap, what am I talking about? It's literally £10 for the entire year, £10 for your domain, and then it's £3.50 per month. Excuse me, $3.50 a month for hosting. So my now newly refined system of onboarding process, which I built around, I believe it was 2 years ago at this particular point. I really need to do it, and I'm actually going to be re-recording all my onboarding processes and stuff like that. I think it's either this month or probably just at the end of this month. I'm going to be redoing my onboarding process. But right now, it's a series of 7 miniature videos. Now, the first video is just an introduction. The second video is kind of setting the expectations. The first video is talking about taking their payments and stuff like that. The fourth video is getting them, giving them access to my business manager. So it's literally a video of me recording my screen, and it's just telling them exactly how to get set up and give me, partner access to all their stuff. I show them, if they don't have a pixel, how to create it. If they don't have an ad account, how to create it. I show them how to connect their Instagram page, their Facebook page, and how to give me access to all of that all in one smooth swoop by making me a partner. By the way, if you're wondering how do you get your media buyer in this, when you get a media buyer, what you want to do is you want to ask them to join in to your business manager as kind of it's kind of like an employee role, if you will, but they're kind of coming in as an employee role. So what you do is when you then, so they're kind of in your ecosystem, your media buyers in your ecosystem. So what I recommend you guys do is create an onboarding process, and in step 4, I believe it is, yeah, step 4, you want to create like a screen share video where you're kind of like going through the business manager, where they actually copy show them exactly where they copy your business manager ID and add you as a partner. You tell them this is the number on the screen, and then you show them on the number on the screen, or you tell them go below, there's going to be my business manager ID. You're going to copy that, you're going to paste that into this box here, and you show them exactly where to paste that. If you're doing this for Google Ads and stuff like that, show them what email address to invite over to there. I don't even know what the workspace is because I do not have a single clue about Google Ads. I am not a Google Ads type of dude. We don't offer that as a service at all. Never ran a Google ad in my life. I'm probably gonna have to learn it soon because I want to do like YouTube ads for my own personal brand, but that's in the future and stuff like that. Long story short, guys, that's kind of how you get them integrated in your business manager. Your media buyer is then already in your ecosystem, and then you give them access manually to these accounts that you've now been given access to. So you should this particular market, and you explain this in a video, that you need admin access to that ads account. You need them to also put their credit card on their ad account. So their ad account, and again, a lot of people get this confused, but when you take payments from a client, if you charge them 2K per month, that 2K is yours to keep. You don't actually spend any money of that 2K on ads. Somebody asked me this literally yesterday. I'm not even joking. And I told them that would almost be like going to BMW, buying a car off of them. They've produced this car, this elegant, beautiful car. You buy it off them. They've gone through all this trouble, actually coming up with the blueprints, hiring designers, going through all this production and cost and stuff like that, building the machines, and then you buying the car and then asking them to put fuel in the car. Why are you not putting gas in my car? Why are you charging me a car and then I have to go and then put my own petrol in it? Like, if you said that to BMW, they would literally laugh you out of the showroom. So it's literally the same thing with Facebook ads. You're getting paid for your expertise and your knowledge on how to run successful Facebook ads, and they are spending their own money on their ads. That's the fuel, basically. So it's like I said, going to BMW and asking them, if I'm buying the car, does it not come with petrol? Like, no, it does not come with petrol, guys. So yeah, that's literally what I actually said to the guy, and I'm pretty sure I made my point very, very clearly. But anyway, that's how you get integrated with your business manager. You should have admin access to their pixel, their ads account, their Facebook page. If you're going to be running Facebook, obviously Facebook ads. I don't know why I said if you're going to be running Facebook ads. You're going to also get admin access to their Instagram account. So make sure their Instagram account's connected as well if you're going to be running Instagram ads, which I recommend you do, of course. So that's kind of like the fourth step in the onboarding process. The fifth step in the onboarding process is literally just a video explaining that you now need some information about their audience. So below that, what you do is you link out. So there will be a video on the screen. It'll be like step 5. You tell us about your audience. Below that, there's going to be a button or a link that actually says, click here to tell us about your audience. That then, when a person clicks that, it opens a new tab to a Google form. I recommend you just use Google form, and in that Google form, you're going to ask them questions about their target demographics, such as who are they, how old are they, what do they look like, what do they fear, what do they desire, what really frustrates them, what sort of hobbies are they into, what sort of brands are they into, who are they following on social media, what sort of trends do they follow, all that sort of stuff. And that allows you to create ads and understand their audience, so you can actually target them better and write copy that obviously suits them. Then in step 6, what you do is you get them to book in what you call a strategy session or a kickoff meeting. So step 6 is basically literally a video just saying, now that you've completed all of this, we've set the expectations, you know what you can expect from us and what you can't expect from us, and you've told them about the service in step 2. Step 3 again is just getting them to sign the contract, and again there's a link below that, and they click that link and it goes to a contract. Step 4 is them getting integrated with business manager. So step 6 now that they've completed all of those previous steps, all you do is get them to book in a complimentary strategy session. So, and this is like your initial kind of call that you have with your media buyer and your actual client. And what you do is you both jump on that call and you talk strategy to them. In this particular call, you obviously want to talk about strategy. I personally have built out what you call a ideal client avatar, kind of like creator sheet type thing. And what we do is we go through that particular sheet and we actually just ask them questions about their audience, even though we have a whole bunch of information about them and their audience from the intake form, the client intake form, which is from the previous page, which is page 5. So that's kind of what we do on the actual strategy. We obviously talk strategy, ads, overall kind of like direction and stuff like that, and just make sure that we're on the same page when we're going to launch the ads, when we're going live, what we need from them, if we need creatives, if we need UGC, which is obviously user generated content, that sort of stuff. So that's basically what we talk about on that particular strategy session. Then we talk about when we're going to kick off and the logistics behind that. Then also what you want to do is in step 7, just finish off with some final words. Now guys, all of that I've just explained to you is a 7-step system to onboard a client completely automatically. Without this system, you're going to need to either jump on a call with each and every client and just to get them onboarded, you know, sending over passwords, getting their access to their Facebook account, and getting access to their business manager, that sort of stuff. It's very, very long and tedious to do it that way. I recommend you build something out like an onboarding process. Now, there's a couple of ways you can actually build this out real quick. There's a expensive way, there's a completely free way, and then there's a kind of free way, but it's very professional to do it that way, which is the way I recommend. So I'll save that one to last. So the very expensive way is to get ClickFunnels and build your onboarding process on ClickFunnels. I don't recommend it, but it is a drag and drop editor, so it is slightly easier than using something like WordPress. So I guess you can use ClickFunnels, but again guys, that's going to cost you $97 per month. If you don't really have that many clients onboarded in a month, or you don't have like a really, you know, you're not driving traffic to your agency's website, you know, in order to get clients, I don't really recommend you get ClickFunnels. If you watch my other video, I told you this before, but I don't really recommend you get ClickFunnels. You can build your onboarding process using WordPress, which again, I'll talk to you in a second about. The second way would be to build your onboarding process using a free playlist on YouTube or Vimeo. So Vimeo, what you can do is, you go, okay, again, when I say either of these, you can do it on literally any of them. So what you can do is create a YouTube channel. I believe with YouTube, there's a little bit of a limit. I think when you're new to YouTube, your video limits, your video is limited to like a 10-minute video. So I believe you have to kind of like verify something first. Don't quote me on this, but you have to verify something first so you can upload and increase your upload limit to like an hour or something like that. I'm not sure what it is, but you want to make sure that you obviously do that, because one of the videos, which is step 2, is going to be a 15-minute long video, 20-minute long video explaining your services, what they can expect from you, what they can't expect from you, setting the expectations and how they communicate with you. That sort of stuff is in step 2. So it's going to be a slightly longer video, but yes, you want to make sure you increase your upload limit. So that's the actual free way, which would be literally just creating a YouTube playlist and then linking to that YouTube playlist that then auto play. So obviously when you close a client, for example, you would send them an email, and this is how you onboard a client, just real quick. When you're on a call with them, like literally you're on a sales call now, what you do is you send them over the invoice on the call so they pay on the call. What I've started doing is in that invoice, there will be a description section or note section of the invoice. You can actually put the link to your onboarding process in the actual description of your actual invoice. So you can actually just literally copy and paste the link into your invoice, send over the invoice, tell them to open the invoice on the call. Once they pay the invoice, it will literally, you know, still be on the screen saying thank you, you paid the invoice, but there will also be like you can actually set it to have like a custom message where you can have them kind of like onboard. I don't really do that. I just literally send them the invoice, and within the notes of the invoice there's the onboarding link. Not only that, but I also send them an email just in case they miss it. So when I'm on the call, I only send them the invoice with the link in the invoice. I send them that, they then pay the call. I then say, you know, thank you, can't wait to get you started. The next steps are I'm going to send you an email with the onboarding process. I end the call, you know, on good terms, and what I do is I then send over like a templated introductory kind of like email that, you know, already has the link in it, and it's the correct link. So I have 2 onboarding processes. I'll kind of explain that in another video, but they then go to the right onboarding process, they get onboarded, and that's kind of how they onboard with that particular link. And again, if you're using YouTube for this, obviously with YouTube and Vimeo, they're pretty much similar. You're just going to create a playlist, which is completely free. You upload videos, you upload the same videos, but instead of having like buttons and a fancy web page kind of like design in the background, it's just literally hosted on YouTube, which is completely free. So I recommend you do that. And if I was to start again, that's exactly what I would do. I'll probably get the WordPress actually, because it looks slightly more better, if I'm being honest with you. It looks a whole lot better actually, because you can create, you know, custom, you know, websites and stuff like that. So anyway, long story short, that's the expensive way, that's the free way. Then the kind of like recommended way I recommend you guys do this is go and grab a domain. So buy a domain. That's obviously going to be your domain. So if your agency is called ABC Agency, you'd obviously get domain abcagency.com. If you don't already have a domain, that is, by the way. If you already have a website or whatnot, then obviously you can use your own website builder to do this and stuff like that. It's really simple. It's just literally a piece of text at the top, a video at the bottom, and then a button link at the bottom for your onboarding process. That's pretty much it. Some text at the bottom of the video, and that's literally it most of the time. So you can build this in WordPress, which is what I recommend you do. And if you want to follow this along, all you have to do is get a domain, buy some hosting. So I recommend you get your domain from Google Domains. You then point your domain to your hosting provider. Obviously after you bought hosting, you then log into your hosting cPanel and install WordPress. Once you've installed WordPress, you install a theme called GeneratorPress, because that's the best, easiest, most compatible theme. You then go to the plugin section and then you install a plugin called Elementor. Elementor is a drag and drop website builder like ClickFunnels. You then just start dragging and dropping, and you've literally got a website up and running in like 10 minutes. I'm not even joking. It's so easy. I've literally just explained it in less than like a minute. But that's literally how I did it and how I teach all of my students to do it as well. So that being said, guys, that's how you go about onboarding a process. After the onboarding process, what actually happens, what you do is you invite them to Slack. So when you see that notification on your for the strategy session inside of your Acuity scheduling or Calendar or whatever it is, calendar software you're using that you've embedded in step 6, you then take that same email and then you send them a Slack invite, so you have them in your Slack channel, and you've basically fully onboarded them at that point, because you're then going to invite them to Slack. You're going to put your media buyer in there or your social media manager in there, depending on the services, and you've pretty much just onboarded a client, guys. So that's exactly how you do it from A to Z. Again, it might be a little bit difficult to follow because I'm not actually showing you the actual breakdown on the screen. Obviously, I have to reserve some of this stuff for my students. If you want to get into my 4-week program, just literally send me a DM or even just book a call in below. Again, my 4-week program is very, very different. It's a 4-week live program. It's a done with you program. Not no slides that we go through that's boring. We actually go into real world business and I show you what websites to go on, what to click on. I show you my screen. I share my screen, show you exactly what I'm saying behind the scenes. We create scripts for you. Not only that, but if you're in the e-commerce niche as well, I also give you over 10,000 leads to actually reach out to just for signing up to my program as well. These are actual, e-commerce businesses that you can actually reach out to that are qualified as well. So just make sure you, if you're interested in that, you get these leads as well. You get all this training, you get scripts built for you, you get templates, contracts, everything you need, website plug and plays, everything's pretty much plug and play. You just have to follow what I said. I even plug leads into your CRM system for you, no joke. And these are not leads that I'm giving to everybody, because I literally have 2.7 million leads sat on my computer right now, all e-commerce businesses, and I literally can just give you 10,000 out of them really easily, or even 12,000, 15,000 out of them really easily, and they will never be the same leads I give to another student. I don't have that many students, and if I do, I'm definitely not going to be having enough time to run my own agency. That said, guys, hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you've enjoyed this. If you're interested in the 4-week program, send me a DM or book in a call, and we'll talk about it right there. That's completely free. But that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Please make sure you drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.